If I get a few beers in me, I might take Saquon over McCaffrey. I'm not even
Oh
gonna lie.
god.
Which you will have a few beers in you, so
I Yes, I've had 13 in the last 2 years before our draft, and that is just to find out my draft position.
what's up, Fackers? We are back with our Fantasy and Chill 101, counting down the top 101 fantasy football players for the 2020 season. We are down to our top two. Number two on the countdown, the running back for the New York Giants, Saquon Barkley. He is our second ranked running back. Last year he finished as running back number 9. He had 217 carries for 1,003 yards and 6 touchdowns to go along with 52 catches for 438 yards and 2 receiving touchdowns. He scored 226.1 fantasy points, an average of 17.4 points per game. All right, so last year he was kind of the consensus number 1 overall pick, probably taken number 1 in most fantasy drafts last year. So to finish running back number 9, it was a little disappointing, even though he turned it on late. Ended up still being an RB1, but he missed 3 games last season due to injury, so that kind of set him back a little bit. But his 12 full weeks that he actually did play, he was running back 3, so still that top running back when he was fully healthy. And we know the Giants changed things up a little bit this year, got a new offensive coordinator, Jason Garrett.
Yeah.
We'll see how that factors into the offense. And as we know, the Giants are my team this year, my fantasy team. I like all the Giants. Okay? So Saquon.
That's convenient. Yeah, the
Give me some
number 2
Saquon.
running back.
I said
number
all of
2
them, Brandon.
player.
All of them.
Every single one. Wayne Gallman, Ryan likes
Evan
him.
Ingram.
Deion
Evan Ingram.
Lewis.
Not Evan Ingram.
Oh, okay. Boom.
Talk.
I like Saquon.
The last 10 guys.
Look.
I like insert.
Saquon's a stud, a true 3-down running
Right.
back. Catches it, runs it, does
The 3
everything.
videos
Pass
now,
fraud. Stud. I honestly, if you drafted him first overall, I wouldn't blink an eye. I think he's right there with McCaffrey, in my opinion. McCaffrey did have a lot better of a year last year, but Saquon, if he wouldn't have got hurt, I think he would have been very close to McCaffrey also. The offense revolves around him. They have a somewhat easy division. I love Saquon. If he's there at 2, I'm taking him. If he's there at 1, I will consider it, but I'm probably leaning McCaffrey right now. So,
Well, I think the only question to discuss here is in what situation would you take him over McCaffrey? Because he's not lasting past 2.
yeah, I mean, and it just, if you like him, take him. Like,
I think, yeah.
you're really not going to find anyone who, like, I mean, he's consensus number 2. He's right there. I've seen several people have number 1.
We had a question on Instagram, I think, or maybe it was YouTube about Zeke, and someone asked, like, would it be a reach if I took Zeke at number 1? And with these top 3 picks, there's no reaching anywhere. Like, it's impossible to reach for a player with the top 3 picks because the top 3 could all end up as number 1 running backs. So if you like one guy, take him number 1. You're probably going to be wrong. You should probably take McCaffrey anyways, but Saquon going number 1, I don't see an issue with it.
Yeah, like Saquon's a beast. He's going to get just about as many touches as McCaffrey. I think McCaffrey is still the consensus number 1 just because how crazy of a year he had last year and how much he is used in Carolina. But Saquon could finish number 1, and like Matt said, I would not be surprised if Zeke finished number 1 too.
Yeah.
Okay, this was my whole point, though. Okay, so like this is what I heard on a podcast. Running backs, I need to correct that too. I said 700 touches last. Keller corrected me. That was totally wrong. I'm sorry.
That's
I
for
meant
McCaffrey
400,
you're
okay?
talking about.
So running backs that average 400 plus touches, they finished 68 out of 69 were ranked in the top 10. Okay, the only exception was Jamal Lewis's rookie season. The following year, only 36 of the 64 who had 400 plus touches ranked in the top 10. And so that's what I was trying to get at, that basically there is a notorious fall off after that 400 touch season. I mean, and McCaffrey's the guy who had it last year. And so, and the player with 400 plus touch averaged 15.7 games the first year. The second year after they did that, 13.4 games.
I think
And so
the
there is a
difference,
drop off.
and those past ones. I mean, we were looking at it last night after that video, just looking at the 80s and 90s, how many guys would have 400 touches. Back then, though, it was all carries for the running backs. McCaffrey catching 116 balls, I think kind of like it's too high of a floor and a safety net to where, like, I just don't see, as long as he stays healthy, I can't imagine any possible scenario where he finishes outside of the top 10. He's just going to catch way too many passes.
I think that's the whole point of this is he was used so much. His health has to be a little bit of a concern. Like,
can we spin this back to Saquon?
Oh, no, that's the whole point. Is that's why I can see people if you did take Saquon over McCaffrey because he was used and abused last year. And so, I mean, Saquon's coming off fresh. Barely, what did he play? Or I think he missed, 4 games last year?
3.5.
He missed the last 3, ankle injury.
It wasn't the last 3.
He went off the last few. It was like the middle of the season, early.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. I'm thinking of someone else, I think. But, yeah.
And their touches did go down from 43 touches the first year they had 400 plus, and then 26 the year after that. So there's been a very steep decline from these running backs who've had over 400 touches. Now, like Keller's saying, that was mostly carries, and McCaffrey caught the ball, but I think it's more to their usage as far as how they decline the next year.
Let's try to go back to Saquon a little bit before we wrap it up. Let's just talk about the guys he has around him, how much competition he has for touches. So as far as the carries go, it's like as long as he stays healthy, no one else is getting any carries. All right, it's all Saquon. He's not coming off the field. Wayne Gallman's not touching the ball. Okay.
They do have Deion Lewis too, who was the receiving back in Tennessee, but Saquon's a much better receiving back than Derrick Henry is. So.
Saquon's gonna get every carry and every basically running back reception. The only issue as far as catches is that they have so many pass catchers now.
Yeah.
If they can all stay healthy. Now, they didn't all stay healthy last year, but we've talked about it before. Sterling Shepard, Darius Slayton, Golden Tate, Evan Ingram. These are guys that can produce. So if everybody's healthy, that's 5 consistent targets. But the thing is, the Giants in the past have loved to dump it off to the running back. We'll see what happens with Jason Garrett. But I think he's going to – Jason Garrett has always been a good offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
Now, a head coach, I don't know about that. But offensive coordinator, he should know who his best player is, and he should know to get the ball to Saquon.
Yeah, Jason Garrett was the offensive coordinator when DeMarco Murray was there, too. And you saw how they fed the ball to DeMarco Murray. He's going to pound the ball. The only thing you're worried about with Saquon is he going to get the amount of targets, like you were saying, that he's got in previous years? Because 2 years ago, he had Eli behind center, who he would just dump it off. Now you have a running quarterback. Yeah, you have a running quarterback now who – extends the plays a little bit, doesn't look for the check down as much. Might throw it deep. They have a second-year wide receiver in Darius Slayton. Going to steal some more targets. So I can see the targets going down, but the carries going up.
Well, and see, the whole point, this is kind of like what I was saying with Fournette, like the more successful your team is around you, when you're a running back and your team's able to move the ball down the field, you're going to get more goal line touches. And, I mean, that's the whole thing with Saquon. He's very efficient around the end zone. And, I mean, yeah, he's double-digit touchdowns is a lock for him as long as he's healthy.
Yeah. So I guess we all agree he is the number 2 then. There's no question you're taking him over Zeke. Or you're taking Zeke over him, I guess.
Yeah, I'd take Saquon. I would if I get a few beers in me, I might take Saquon over McCaffrey. I'm not even going to lie.
You will have a few beers in you, so.
Yes, I've had 13 in the last 2 years before our draft, and that is just to find out my draft position. That's not even
that
just
number's risen every story. I feel like every time we tell it.
No, 7 and 6. What does that equal?
I don't think you drank 7 and 6. I think it was more like 6 and 5.
No.
Well, if you kind of pre-draft beer.
Well, he said only pre-draft.
Pre-draft, I had 3. And then I had last year 6 going into the draft.
Okay.
Yeah, Keller, you were right there with me. You had 6 beers last night. Or last year, I'm sorry.
I thought we only had 5, but.
So what you're saying is you're taking Saquon over McCaffrey.
Yeah, unless I get my first beer has a number on it, yes.
All right, so let's wrap it up here. Saquon Barkley is our number 2 ranked running back, number 2 overall. We out.
We out.
We out.